The princess's hometown was a bustling and vibrant city. Its cobbled streets were lined with colorful buildings, and the smell of freshly baked bread filled the air. The people of the city were proud of their heritage and their beloved princess. She was the light of their lives, and the citizens would often gather around her to hear her stories and wisdom. The princess was a symbol of hope and joy for the people of the city, and they all loved her dearly. The royal family of the princess's hometown consisted of her father, the king, her mother, the queen, and her two younger siblings. The king was a wise and kind ruler who was beloved by his people. The queen was a strong and compassionate woman who was also a great leader. The two siblings were the prince and princess, both of whom were beloved by their people. The royal family was respected and admired by all, and their presence was a source of strength and stability for the people of the town. The princess's calling was a difficult one to answer. She was tasked with a responsibility that no one else could fulfill. She had to travel to a distant kingdom, a place she had never been before, and restore peace and order. She had to be brave and determined, and she had to be willing to face any challenge that came her way. She was ready to take on her calling, and with the support of her family and friends, she was ready to do whatever it took to bring peace and harmony to the kingdom. In preparation for her new role as a princess, the young woman set out on a journey of self-discovery. She began to learn the customs of the royal family, the language of the kingdom, and the history and traditions of her people. She studied the laws and regulations of the land and the responsibilities of the monarchy. She also took part in various activities and events to better understand the culture and the people of her new home. With each day, the princess grew more confident in her ability to serve her kingdom and its people. The princess ventured deep into the dark forest, feeling a sense of trepidation as she left the safety of her home. She was determined to find the courage to face the unknown and to prove herself worthy of the task she had been given. As she walked, she encountered strange and unfamiliar creatures, and the darkness seemed to be alive with a mysterious energy. With each step, she felt her courage growing, and her determination to fulfill her destiny strengthening. The princess had no one to turn to in her time of need, so she set out on her own. Yet she soon found that she was not alone along the way. She encountered a number of mysterious creatures who offered to be her companions, from the friendly forest animals to the magical creatures of the night. The princess found a loyal and devoted group of friends that were willing to help her on her journey. With their help, she was able to navigate the unfamiliar terrain and face the challenges of the dark forest. As the princess and her companions ventured further into the dark forest, they were met with unfamiliar terrain. The trees were tall and twisted, their branches intertwining in a way that made it difficult to find a path. The ground was soft and damp, and the air was heavy with the scent of moss and damp earth everywhere they looked. There were strange plants and fungi, and the occasional animal scurrying away from the group. Even the sunlight seemed strange, filtered through the thick canopy of trees in a way that made it seem almost ethereal despite the mysteriousness of their surroundings. The princess and her companions continued onward, determined to find the answers they sought. The dark forest was home to many mysterious creatures. Strange sounds echoed through the trees, and strange shapes moved in the shadows. Wolves howled in the night, and owls hooted in the day. The princess and her companions were both curious and wary of these creatures as they ventured further into the forest. They encountered more and more of these unknown beasts. Some were friendly, and some were dangerous, but all of them were mysterious and fascinating as they explored the forest. The princess and her companions discovered a whole new world of creatures they had never seen before. The princess and her companions had finally reached their destination, the mysterious land beyond the dark forest. As they stepped out of the woods, they were met with awe-inspiring sights: rolling hills, lush meadows, and a sky full of stars. They had finally made it to the place they had been seeking, and the princess was filled with a sense of accomplishment, but she also felt a deep sense of trepidation, as she knew that the journey ahead would be full of danger and uncertainty. The princess felt a wave of fear wash over her as she stood before the final destination. The path ahead was uncertain, and she knew she was about to face a great challenge. She was afraid of the unknown, of the danger that surely lay ahead. She was afraid of failure, and of what might happen if she couldn't rise to the challenge. But despite her fear, she knew she had to go forward. She had to trust in her courage and determination to face whatever lay ahead. The princess knew that she must be brave and summon her courage if she was to face the final destination. Taking a deep breath, she steeled her nerves and stepped forward, determined to conquer her fear and face whatever lay ahead. She took comfort in the knowledge that she had overcome obstacles before, and this would be no different with a newfound strength. She marched forward, ready to face whatever the final destination would bring. The princess's courage had been tested throughout her journey, but she had never given up hope. Finally, she reached the final destination, and with a renewed strength, she was able to overcome the obstacles that had been in her way. She was triumphant, knowing that she had conquered her fears and emerged victorious. The princess was proud of her accomplishments and was grateful for the strength and courage she had found within herself.
If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update from us. We'll be bringing you more exciting stories and videos like this one. See you next time.